Let's go back to one of our main stories today. And a US judge has blocked President Donald Trump from revoking Harvard's ability to enroll foreign students. Susan Sullivan is a professor of law and politics at Temple University, and she joins us live. Susan, welcome to the program. So the Trump administration's plan to bar Harvard University from enrolling international students has been blocked by a US judge. But does Trump's plan actually have a legal standing?
Well, we haven't really seen the Trump administration's position on this. The good news is that in order to block this attempt by the Department of Homeland Security to it's really threatening Harvard's educational integrity and independence. In order to provide that block, in order to justify that block, the court had to find two things, and the judge did find those. The first is irreparable harm, that if she does not put this block in place immediately, there could be harm that could never be repaired. But the second is likelihood of success, and that means this is a temporary block until they can sort of battle out this lawsuit to answer your very question, Maria, whether it is legal. And in order to, as I said, in order to put this block into effect, she has to find there was a likelihood of success on the merits, which means that there's a good, strong possibility that Harvard's lawsuit is going to prevail. So that's a very good sign, but we've yet to see any kind of briefing before the court. This does seem on its face to be illegal, unprecedented. Presents a huge threat to not just Harvard, but to universities, institutions of higher education all over the country.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And Susan, how does Trump's plan here fit in with the constitutional rights and freedom of speech in the US?
Well, this is, it's a classic threat to First Amendment, which is the First Amendment for a reason, and it includes religious freedom, but also free speech, free expression. And the Trump administration has been attacking the right to free speech and expression in a number of ways. We saw, first of all, the attempt to punish any kind of protest on university campuses that had a message that the Trump administration didn't agree with. And the ability to write your own curriculum, decide how you're going to teach, what you're going to teach, who you're going to teach, and who's going to teach it. So admissions and hiring. This is all an attack on speech because the Trump administration, as Christopher Rufo said, is trying to create an existential threat in order to advance a more conservative agenda. And universities in this country are predominantly liberal. They are renowned for having a left-leaning liberal approach. And so there should be some more diversity of thought. But you don't get diversity of thought by threatening the very existence of a university and of higher education across the board, which is essentially what they're doing here.
So, Susan, right now, of course, the federal judge has temporarily stopped Trump's ban on Harvard right now. I understand it's for 2 weeks. What happens if Trump's plan does go to the Supreme Court?
Well, that's anybody's guess. We know the Supreme Court is heavily conservative. You have a 6-3 majority, and there tends to be a concern that the court is always going to support Trump. But in fact, we've seen the opposite. We saw a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to say anonymous, but I meant unanimous decision by everybody on the court, conservative and liberal alike, that required the Trump administration to provide due process, which basically meant they couldn't go around picking people off the street as they had been and deporting them without giving them an opportunity to be heard, to hire an attorney, to understand what they're being charged with, and to have an opportunity to fight against that. And then last week, we had a similar ruling. Again, it was unanimous. In fact, there was a liberal judge that dissented on that. I'm sorry, it wasn't unanimous. It was per curiam, but we did have a liberal justice who dissented. So we're seeing even the Trump appointees, Justice Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett, we're seeing them sign on to decisions that don't support the Trump administration. So the hope here is twofold. One, that the court will remain independent and protect those constitutional protections like free speech. And the second is that the Trump administration will respect that, will honor that, because the Supreme Court is the backstop, and without the administration respecting that, then then all hope is basically lost, and we're really in trouble.
Susan, thank you so much. On that note, Susan Sullivan, speaking to us there from Temple University, Pennsylvania. Really appreciate your time and insights. Thank you.
You're very welcome.